killed and enough in Buraka's village. Up to this moment, even the man that sent them to level of water to teach them a lesson, the first way to understand is this: stood on time even to mention that there's a mother and a military personnel in enough. How many military have been killed in the north on a daily basis? Yet somebody, some person that asked them to level is still on the same seat. He cannot find courage enough. And the military that are moving their own power, south, and now, like on the animals, you don't know what to do with those as far as it is in the southwest or north. It's only the east. And they know exactly how the bomb functions and how to handle it. Well, you are not disobeying me, let me make it clear. And until act under the function of heaven. Now let me remind you that God has a way of fighting his battles. He needs not do anything, just a rebuke. And he will rebuke you. In a language you will understand. And mind you that his rebuke carries death in every of his syllables. I pity you. The world will laugh at you. They will teach you to make an example to say, may the Lord deal with you as he dealt with the Nigerian military. Thank you. But this is the last one I'm giving you. Your best interest. Please leave southeast, south. Your best interest right now. If you don't do so, you stay there and so on.
Jangan mewarnaikan rambut apabila sudah tua. Ia sangat memudaratkan.
God use you to teach a lesson that you will never forget in history. Thank you. I remain Jerry. God bless you.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are we all doing? I hope everybody's okay. Yes, I have some commentators already. Owen Palace, I see you. Excellent Wachuku. Excellent Wachuku. Nice to have you guys in the live broadcast. This is our second broadcast today. So we are going straight to the program, but before then, I would like us to understand that this program, we are going to touch many things as well. So we are not having one particular issue to discuss. We are going to touch many things. And the broadcast that we had before, I showed us about what Nigerian Army were doing in Imo River, right? And somebody told us that they are executing people there, and it turned out to be true. After the program, I tried to find out more about the video, and the conclusion is that people that should I say, not arrest, people they captured, okay, on 30th of May, women, young guys, innocent Biafrans, they are the one that in that video, when you see them shooting something, firing catapult in the river, they were actually executing something, executing Biafra for no just reason. So that is what the breaking news we have about the activities we saw them doing in that video. It's a very hard to believe and very disturbing. But Biafran government in Israel have some response to them. They have, they share their information on what is about to come, and coupled with other activities, especially the one in Osumo. Because the report have it that some people from Osumo have been sabotaging the effort of Biafran government in exile and Biafran resistance fighters, Biafran Defense Force. So, PM and Biafran government in exile have a very straight information to them, and that message has been passed, which I will try my best to bring it for us to see and to hear what PM said about it. There's this video from Biafran Army And it's just a few seconds video, but in preparation of what is about to come, this is what I said. Okay, and we are going to, let me see. So the video is in seconds, but at least he break the record of yeah, he did not break the record of a DOS that have 2 seconds video of Chike Doziem, almost 1 seconds. At least this one is 12, so you can't compare the two. So this video is about what is about to come, and the anger and the issue of what is going on in different land is in everybody, unless if you have zero conscience. If you watch the video of Nigerian army executing innocent children, innocent young men and women in different land in Imo River, and those politicians that have been shouting Ifa Ejiofor of this world and other people that are making noise and trying to make case where there's no case because you hate one person and the other, you use that to, to antagonize every Biafran to be a criminal, which is very, very shocking. But the information is that everybody is aware of what is going on and people are not happy with the whole thing. So as they're doing that, Biafrans are also engaging them somehow. Today, sorry, we are not going to listen. I'm not going to allow the audio because there's a lot of catapult sound in this video that you're watching here. But they went to police station in somewhere in Maryland, and they were there evangelizing. Why you are okay? Let me allow the camera to capture it properly because I don't know why. Now it is clear. Why you abuses getting on armed civilians, on armed citizens of Biafra. Many are busy. Men are busy taking over what belongs to them. Nigerian army. That's the hashtag of the Nigerian army. You guys don't want to face men. Why are you running? You understand? This information is what happened today, and if I allow the sound to sound here, if I allow the sound to play, to be honest with you, you yourself will confirm that the preachers are on a high gear. They are doing their voice and the public address system that they use in preaching the gospel, preaching the news in this area is second to none. If you hear it, if you are not man enough, your leg will be shaking where you are watching it from. But I'm not going to allow it to play here for the sake of the platform. We have to follow the policy of the people that are on the platform. So bear with me on that. All right. So everybody is now talking about the rise of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, including those who don't want to believe on what he was saying about. But some of them are saying now, which is to me, I think I agree with them on that one because they said that they don't believe that Simon Ekpa will be more tougher than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in terms of the engagement. That they're now comparing the two, and they are regretting why they removed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the picture. But as you know, these have been the prophecy of PM. All right, he made it clear that kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be a thing of regret to most of you. That's what he said, and they are now confessing and testifying that to be true. So, is a prophecy fulfilled. I just want us to, and not only that, many Biafrans are now picking interest on what PM is doing. Some of them that refuse to understand, or maybe if you are shy to appreciate the good work of Biafrans and people that, because not only PM, most of you that are watching, Biafrans all over the world are doing all they can to keep the information, to keep the momentum. And how? By contributing. Some of you are very, very vibrant in contribution. You are contributing a little way in a little way you can. Some of you are actually preaching in homeland. You are the people that are holding the Bible, and you have time to use the public address system to speak the language to the masses and make sure that every sinners get receive their repentance. Some of you are holding holy water, baptizing people, making sure that you clear the road, okay, and making sure that everything is in order. Depending on where you find yourself. But if you are in the category of people that are saying, okay, we don't want to PM to continue, that PM is a experiment, all that, I am not here to tell you what will be your answer or response, but Biafran government ministers are keeping, taking note of all those things. It's not a threat. Mind you, where you think you come from, there's a government that is supervising everything there. And every country checkmates citizens and foreigners in the land, right? So if you move to maybe even when you're a citizen, there are some things you don't need to do. Some of you are kind of adamant, you are kind of stubborn, you don't want to understand the current situation. You think it doesn't matter. Somehow you believe that this thing will just fade away. Somehow you believe, you think that it's just a mere talk, and some of you think that they are just joking. I don't blame you, because for years, or since you were born, you have not witnessed this kind of thing, right? But my advice to you is just give a benefit of doubt. Even if you don't see anything going on to you don't see anything, or maybe you are too busy to pay attention, fine. Give a benefit of that, because if worst, now I don't want to use worst. If this thing move to the other side, maybe what you expect is not what really happened, or at end you are somehow disappointed. What will be your fate? You are spending your time bragging and yapping, thinking that everybody will just close their eyes, because you think everything must not go the way you think. Sometimes you think that this it doesn't matter. Like some of them, I've seen some people say that there's nobody there. You don't have anybody. Breaking news today: PM have announced that 3,000 different army will be out. They'll be out, and they will be not. And for your information, this is somebody that have everything I've said in the past. He did not hold back on it. The only thing you can tell me that maybe somehow in some occasion, in some instance or some occasion, some things that he said in the past will delay, a little delay. But whether it will come to fulfillment, yes. PM is not the kind of person that was, because some of them he's bragging, he's propaganda. I watched people from Arise News saying that he's doing propaganda on Twitter. I laughed. That you raised that Twitter this week and started following PM does not mean that everything PM has been saying all this while is propaganda. How can you say it's a propaganda? Are you joking? He knows what the Nigerian government can do. Nigerian government is, to be honest with you, they are not kind of people that you will use propaganda to engage. No. Because that is their field. They are good in propaganda. And once they do the propaganda, somehow, if you relax thinking that they're doing propaganda, they will not hold you in a broadcast. And once they hold you in a broadcast, you are gone. People that don't have any trial, so far you provoke them, no trial for you. You face Chukwuka by my standard in 21st century. To the extent they are now executing people shooting the video. So it's not as if they're covered everywhere or at night when people cannot do shooting, recording something. But they don't care. You see how relaxed they are. You see how relaxed, how free, how comfortable they think that the environment is for them. And they command people to go inside the Imo River. And what do? They turn their catapults on them. Using their catapult and throwing gravels, with speed. Buying people, even Boko Haram. Boko Haram have never received such punishment. Boko Haram have not received such. Fulani herdsmen have not received such punishment. This is why I keep on saying I can forgive. To me, if I am PM, please don't take what I'm saying serious. I'm just trying to tell you my mind, okay? I'm not saying that this is conclusion or that I had a meeting with executive. No, I don't have any meeting with anybody. I'm just telling you, if I am in position of PM, it is easier for me to forgive Fulani people in army than Igbo people in army and Igbo politicians. Let me explain to you. You see how these people are protecting their own. It is very clear. Even if a woman in the village or an old man in the village that don't know what civilization or how government is being run can identify that there's different treatment between you and them. Your brother in army and the police and the politicians, they see all those things. They said that I was told when I was growing up that Igbos are not coward people. That they are not cowards. But to be honest with you, the level of cowardic life or cowardness in some of us is mind-blowing. A politician, a governor, will be in his own state. Okay, let me not even go as far as governor. You receive the same training as army, as a police, as navy, as custom. You see people from the one particular tribe committing a lot of something, a lot of, you know what I mean, crimes. Then you are there. They recruited them and forgive them and pardon them. Not only pardon them, give them money to to establish them. They are so comfortable in the government, even from Bukaram to army. They are so comfortable in both sides to the extent they are now comparing where they make more money easier. One of them said that he's going back to forest, that he makes more money when he was in the other side, which is Boko Haram, than now in the Nigerian army, because they don't pay them anything, because it has to do with both west and south and east. So Fulani that control them, that give them money, minimize the way they give the money. But in the north, people, Gumi of this world and all of them, they know how to make more money generate money for them. That's why even army have opportunity to capture their weapon, their catapult and everything. The same government will look at them. When some of our brothers in the army, after doing, maybe miraculously, if they win one engagement and I'm just telling you, happen to retrieve some kind of catapult back to state governor or federal government, the people in the power, the executive will now look at them. Okay, you recover so catapult, yes, and you recover so ammunition, yes. Okay, no problem. Well done, guys. Give them handshake. But deep in his mind, he's so bitter that how dare you to deal with our boys like that? What will he do? Next time they will tell them that they are going to Borno to finish these people out. Go there. They were arranged. You see all these officers that got involved in that first operation that seemed to be successful. They will make sure they execute all of them, and also pay them compensation for losing their men, and give them more sophisticated weapons. And all this one, a lot of crime these people are committing. These people, these southeastern people, southeasterners in army and police, all those officers that they are aware of all those things. They know. What would they do? They kept quiet. Don't be surprised that the one you see firing catapult from that their car. Maybe it's an Igbo man, but they told him that in unity we stand. And when you check his certificate and his awareness, it is so limited, very very limited. And everything, each time he opened his ear to hear anything, they will be filling him with nonsense information. Education is very, very good. No matter how little it is, please try and capture some. Even if you are not opportune to study properly, you can start to equip yourself with knowledge by doing some research and paying attention to the good things, people that can tell you the reality. Because many people are uninformed. These people in politics, not only politicians, people like Ekpa, People like Joseph Okechukwu, all those platforms that are today, they are here. Tomorrow, they are here. Tomorrow, you are a Catholic. The next hour, you are an Anglican. Next one, you are a traditionalist. Okay, you also admire Muslim. Oh, you are going to Hindus. Now you are a Buddhist. You go back to Pentecostal. Now you are, you're inconsistent. That is what also these people in the US are doing. Once Biafra, oh, Biafra, hey, all hell Biafra, waving flag, waving flag. When the thing get tough, you bring the flag down. You now waving here, you are now a nationalist. You like you're humanitarian. You like people's life. You are your life protector. If that one did not pay well, you bring your hand down. Okay, Nigerian will stand. Nigerian flag. Tomorrow you are this. Afternoon you are that. Nobody knows where you stand, and you can only come from Igbo people, because the eye of searching for money, how to loot, how to make money, did not allow them to think properly. That's why when I started broadcasting live, I made it clear to us that I cannot do what PM is doing, like serving Igbo people like that. I can't do that until I see something like maybe changes in the mindset of our people. Let me be honest with us. Sometimes I feel like we deserve what is happening to us. Sometimes I feel like that. I may be wrong, but that's my feeling. And everyone have right to feel the way you want to feel. Sometimes I feel that we deserve what is happening to us, because I don't see a reason why somebody will go to university. Just like I made mention of illiterate and uninformed. What about some of us that are informed? Can we say that if I Ejiofor don't know what is left and right? Each time he open his laptop or his phone, go and read his post. He will use grammar to go zigzag, and learn to link PM and Namaricano to states that doesn't relate to them. Knowing what you know, even a blind people can also tell you that this is what is happening. Oh, this criminal element, and you ask them, before this man start, anyhow putting his voice out there, who was the criminal in the land? Because I remember when Masakano was still here with us, before they kidnapped him, there was a time unknown gunmen were destroying police stations. That was a time that we witnessed that. And who was the criminal element then? And we are here. We know what criminal people, bandits or whatever they call them in North, what they're doing. You see how they treat them when people think they have committed something. And what about your own? How do they treat you as well? How do they treat you? You don't ask yourself that question. Now, this is a new person that surfaced online today. Maybe he had been putting videos before, but PM shared it and his video is non-viral. What he said here is very, very, very awesome. I love it. Let me share this with us, because many Igbo people need to get sense. Like I told us, in the broadcast we had before, that one of my relatives were he don't even know what PM stand on, because he is one of the people that a victim of lack of information, unawareness. Nobody told him what is nobody informed him what is going on. He don't know what Biafra government stand. He don't know what PM stand for. He don't know that they have told him that he's causing problem in Southeast, and he was carrying that one. But today he received his deliverance. I made sure that I deliver him and dust him properly, because what you don't know is bigger than you, like PM always say. You will sit down in your house. People will come with the car, command everyone to move inside the car forcefully, bring them to a known destination. No trial, no question, no investigation. Buy them. And that is, governor will now keep, even, okay, if governor of Abia have placed bounty on anyone that bring information to the people that buy the soldiers, right? We have condemned buying of soldiers. We also said that we are not preaching for anything as such. But my concern is that why is it more important when it happened in the Southeast? What about that are being buyed in the North? Have we asked for restoration? Okay, the one they fight in the east, we are told that they are mainly Igbo people. And who is now the loser? You are buying more Igbos because they buy. You are buying more Igbo youth because they buy an Igbo youth in army. So who is the loser? Government. For you to know how people, these people think that we are full. They differentiate us because of you give this one khaki and you don't give the other one khaki. So this one that you put that you have khaki, that you yourself force them to go out, give them gun to start on the way of Biafran's Hero Day. As stupid as they are, because you have been telling them to resign, quit, they don't want. Because they're paying you 50,000 naira. I don't know what is wrong with our people. In old days, I was told that a real Igbo people, a real Igbo man, they don't stand on the way of anything good. Once they notice that what you are saying is good, they will stand with you. That was why China Achebe, because he's a product of the old system. When they refused to, during the time of Obasanjo, I think there was something that he requested from Obasanjo, and he refused to give that. Obasanjo did not pay more attention. Yet they called him to give him an award. He refused to honor that award. China Achebe, the record is there. But today, if I use Jofo and co, people like him, they can do anything to receive an award. Award of how much? I have asked us, if you know how much it will generate, from the award, please share it with us so that we are aware, because the kind of strength and eager, the readiness in them to receive award from federal government is second to none. I have not seen that in my life. If you check the history of Igbo people don't eat anything that is not that's not genuine. A real Igbo man, they select what they eat. Everything don't penetrate in the mouth of Igbo man in the olden days. But today, our people, our brothers and sisters are ready to. If you ask them, they tell you that it's a dividend of war. No, it's not a dividend of war. These are very useless generation, very, very stupid people. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for calling insulting word on this platform. Sorry about that. I don't mean to insult anybody. I don't mean to insult anybody, but when you sometimes when you are talking about what you are going through, out of emotion, the way I feel, somehow I feel bitter. I will not lie. I may be pretending that all is well, but to be honest with you, all is not well. Who would like to see his own people perishing and you be clapping for them? Nobody, unless if you are not, son of the soil. If you are not from you have no blood connection with your people, then that's when you can be celebrating. Celebrating when your people are in pain. Our people are going through a lot. Both some of us living in Abuja, in Lagos, they are going through a lot. Forget about Igbo people. Once they want to hype you, they will tell Igbo people are doing well. They are doing well. They are doing well on what? We don't know. Our people have lost integrity. We don't have honor anymore. That is why PM is only one after the kidnap of Master Morgan. And this is what they don't want to see in Igbo land. They don't want to see anybody speaking for Igbo people, let alone defending anything at all. Anyway, let's hear from this our brother. And after this, I want to say something about people making this kind of video. Pure truth.
Jesus Christ bịara n'ụwa nwụọ maka ndị isi. Samuel na ahụhụ na-adọta maka ezinụlọ ya. Ọ na-ata ahụhụ maka ndị Igbo. Abịa na-abịa kee nkwa ọ dịka o.
Okay, the video did not continue here. PM just called this part and posted, and I would love to listen to the full video of this our brother. Now, this kind of people is what we need now. This kind of people is what we need now. Some of us don't understand what is at stake. You don't understand what is at stake. The level of humiliation, intimidation, degradation that our people are going through, insult of all kinds. Imagine, like, let me see if I will bring that. I played that lady's video here. I think I have the video here. Let me see if I can bring it up. The lady was she's in Lagos, but her siblings in Abia, they captured all of them, both boys and girls. Probably they are part of people that we saw in the video. Okay, this one is in Imo. Maybe Imo one is different, but the one I'm talking about is happening in Abia. Okay, the video is not here. It's not here. That lady was crying out for help. That nobody, they don't know where they are. She don't know where their her brothers and sisters are. Nobody, there's no contact whatsoever. And army, went to their house and break through the door and captured even a 16-year-old boy is among what is missing. The Nigerian army threw them away. Now the father is sick. In his presence, they made away with all his children, and except the one in Lagos now. And is elderly person. Maybe he's a retired. Maybe he have retired or something like that. Then they choose to go there without minding how the man will feel. Not that they captured his children with any catapult, or they saw them buying anybody. But the only thing is that you are from that particular place, and therefore you have to pay for what you don't know. We have villages in Boronu. Army have not destroyed any of them. Nothing, apart from the same bandits, within themselves. That's all. We saw what they did in Okoma, in Delta State. That for those of them, Igbos we are not Igbo. But when the same measurement of punishment they give Igbo is what they give you. Yet our brothers and sisters, all those 21 years boys who don't even know their left or right, people of 1990, 1994, 1993. Some of them 1996, some of them 1990. 1999, I mean. Some of very young people, they are in army. Even the people that were born in 1980s, 1970s don't even know Nigerian history. So let alone people of 1990. And they are now in uniform. They told them that the Nigerian is we have to fight to keep it one. No history, no education, nothing. Because it is very rare for you to see somebody that have gone through tertiary institution, youth service, probably have some basic knowledge to apply to purchase Nigerian military form. It is difficult. Only people that have finished their common entrance, some of them don't even have anything to do with secondary school. You are physically fit, you can jump fence, you can carry some heavy loads and all that. They will teach you how to use trigger. That's what tell you that there's nothing like this life. You just, this kind of Arabic mentality. They will bring it to you, and you can slap anybody for fun. You can kick anybody for fun, no problem. Everything is in your hand. That's the knowledge. And today, our people are going through a lot. They're going through a lot. There are many videos that are in front of me, but I cannot bring all of them. If I bring them there, it will be a problem here. So I don't want. I'm kind of trying to choose which video to share with us and not, because so many of them, even where they are slapping the woman, where they from different from the one I talked about in the other video, another video also. This is what our people are going through on a daily basis. Now, somebody from North, women, and some of them don't know how to hide the issue. Hear what this lady said here. Let me bring it, and don't know if. Okay, pay attention to what she's saying. What she said here.
I have been part of a committee that investigated the atrocities of the Boko Haram, and that committee indicted the military more than anything else. There is no house in Borno that the military has not plundered. There is no house in Borno. There has been committee after committee set up by the government, and the government has failed to bring these people to book. In fact, this current leadership of the military in Nigeria today are an extension of that one. And this government has failed to even acknowledge the reports of those investigations. We all know today that in this government, papers have been given, investigations have been made into the atrocities and the corruption in the military. We all know today that the Air Force, the papers or the investigation of the Air Force has been made public. That of the Navy has been made public. But that of the Army has been swept under the carpet by this government, because they are not only sustaining it, they are not only retaining those culprits, but they are still serving in various capacities in this government, as a government that is supposed to be fighting corruption more than any other place, or more than any other thing. Now, with this, we should also look at the irresponsibility of the political elite. The political elite in this country have done nothing but to cash in on this poverty, on this ill education of the mass majority of Nigerians.
Exactly.
They use them, they have used you and turned your psyche into slaves, slaves of religious and ethnic manipulations. No one has ever seen the son of a governor even going out to campaign.
Never.
No one has ever seen the son or the daughter of the president going out to campaign.
Never.
And no son of even a councillor, not talk of a senator or a chairman or a governor, that has been abducted or that has been slaughtered on the streets. But the idiots that call themselves the masses allow themselves to be used through religion or ethnicity to divert attention, but to continue to make you into slaves that will be exploited again and again unending. So until you put into your thick heads that you are no slaves to anybody, that the resources of Nigeria is ours, then you will continue to be enslaved. You will be where you are forever, starving. I have never seen the son of the imam being slaughtered or rioted. Neither have I ever seen the son of the pastor. I don't know the difference between a Christian child and a Muslim child. Ladies and gentlemen, we can go on and on. However, the crux of the matter is that we don't have a nation as it is. We don't have a country, because the primary responsibility of every government, that which gives legitimacy to any government, is to secure the territorial integrity of that nation and to provide security for lives and property. and to give us an enabling environment to live and to sustain our lives without hindrance, without fear of being kidnapped or being killed or being assassinated. That is the primary responsibility of any government. Any government that fails to do this lacks legitimacy to govern and lacks and should be said to have failed, woefully failed. It is left to Nigerians now to decide, to wake up and say, have I been given what is duly mine? Have you received it? Or are you still parasites? Are you still slaves in your mentalities? You have to be able to think. As for our military, we are demanding a thorough overhaul of this military. Anything short of this is a cahoot. Anything short of this is, to say the least, the government is a beneficiary. The people in government are benefited. For so long as you see crime within the prism of tribe or religion, you are part and parcel of the problem. Because you are perpetuating it, you are not looking for solutions. And what does it matter? What does it matter to the victim? Does it make any difference to the victims of Mambila, Benue, or Zamfara, under which government they were killed? The dead is dead. The orphan is orphaned. Does it matter who made it happen or who allowed it to happen? So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't say much because I did not even prepare a paper. You have to forgive me. But we all have a responsibility, not only to ourselves, but to our children. Anybody, I have said, who sits on the fence without saying anything or doing anything is either a coward or a hypocrite, or both. So the choice is yours. I'm not a coward, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm a fighter. Fight along with us.
I hope that this lady is still alive. I hope that she is still, with us, because this her speech is somehow against the status quo of the government. And what she said here is when those things were only in the north. Now, because this video, I don't think is a recent video. I don't think so. Maybe someone, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I believe. The issue is that what she said here, apply it on our people. How many of us are ready? People that should talk, that all of them are, turning blind eyes. They don't want to say anything. And the annoying part is that when they don't want to talk, when they're supposed to talk, then when they should not talk, that's when they want to talk. Like there's a comment I made before that I can easily forgive those Fulani in the military than those from the southeast, because we keep on telling you, quit, no. Leave these people, no. Then they will still send you to come and do something. You jump out. Instead of buying our people, you are buying on behalf of the state. Then when anything happened to you, your relatives will not jump out. These Biafran people, these people are buying, they're buying our own. Even when some of the people that send you to go out, they will send your colleague that knows what they're doing to buy you from behind. After buying you from behind, they will not say, okay, it's Biafrans. And your family will believe that. That's Biafrans. Igbos are buying Igbo. But to avoid this kind of propaganda, if actually the Biafrans or Igbos want to buy you, then they wouldn't have asked you to quit. But they told you to quit because they know that after buying you, they will tag them that they are the one that buy you. Why is this so difficult for people to understand this? Like I said, the soldiers they buyed in the 30th of May, Who buy them? Who? And who are there? If you check the name, there are many Igbos. Now, Igbos, women and children and youths are now being buyed again for buying 4 soldiers or 3 soldiers. 5 or 6, I don't know how many they say they are. But at the end of it all, Southeast are the one losing their youth. Losing it in the military wing, losing it because you refuse to quit the military. Just like those of you building businesses, having business in the north, when you are being asked to bring it down, oh, if there's no business in Southeast, there's no business there. So people living there are ghosts. What do you think that you people are making use of in the north that people are not making use of is that in the east? Is it clothes? Rent to pay house rent is more expensive in the southeast than in the north. Unless you want to live in a specific place in Abuja, that one is different. But normally, if you are paying house rent in something like Kaduna, Zamfara, Kano, Sokoto, Jigawa, Nasarawa, you know those areas. Do you think that paying house rent in Onitsha, in Oka, in Enugu, in Ebonyi State, in Imo State, nowhere, you think that is more cheaper? Is that what they think? It's not. And when you tell people, okay, even if you must have business in the north, why don't you come and open branch? At least also trouble side that they say, you know, everywhere is dry. Why won't it be dry when all of you are running to other people's community? Of course it will be dry. If you check the record and statistics of Nigeria, Igbos are more in population. But they keep on telling that the Igbos know who will buy it, you know, because everybody is thinking the way you are thinking. And everybody is running to other people's community where that is naturally dry. And you will go there and fill that place. That place will be very busy because people want to be in another man's land for no just reason. Because people, I don't think we are still doing that in Igbo land today. When people, Christmas time, people that come from the north, from the west, you are looking at them as the, you know, people that matter. Then those ones that come from Onitsha, and anyway, it doesn't matter. They are here with us. Or Enugu, no, they are here with us. People that come from Ebonyi State, you know, come back to the village, you don't value them. So for you to be valued, you have to go to Kaduna, you have to go to Lagos. So when you are coming back here, they see you as like you are from abroad. That is the poor mentality. And like I said, Igbos in Lagos, go and celebrate Christmas in Lagos. Every Christmas in Lagos looks like where there's a strike. Everywhere be totally dry, very, very dry. Shops, road, you can kill a goat in streets of Lagos and nobody will notice it because everywhere is dry. To tell you that Igbos are the one, you know, trooping to people's land to make that place busy. They will not turn around and start telling the Southeast is no business there. People are not there. Why do you expect people to do that when all of you are running? That's why somehow it's very, very painful, but I like the way Lagos government are treating you people. The only problem I have with it is like residential places. But you see all those shops that are destroying, I don't have much issue about it. Where I have issue about it just because some of you don't have where to, out of pity, out of brotherhood. But if you ask me, some of you deserve it. You have been one time with that number, bring your business back. The excuse that they'll be giving to you is because I have talked to many of them. If you bring this business now, who will buy it in Southeast? Who will buy it? Start it there first and see who will buy it. Because it's like some of us are under course. How can you have just like a man that have 10 children, and that man is dying of somebody that will help him to fetch water, but that man have already given birth to 10 children. That your house should be, you know, children should be playing in your compound, but all of a sudden nobody is there. Everywhere is dry. Guess where they are? People's compound that have only 2 children and 1 children. Some of them don't even have any child at all. Your children are there making noise, keeping that place lively. but your house, after giving birth to 10 children, is very dry. Does that make sense? That means you're under cost. Because if you have, some of you have celebrated Christmas in Lagos, you know how dry Lagos looks when each time Igbo people travel back home. Even the owner of the Lagosians, those Lagosians, Igbo don't go, Igbo don't go, may come back, may come back, because it looks so lonely. So you see, Lagos, hold up, not when Christmas comes, everywhere be dry. Those Fulani people they don't have bushes in Lagos to accommodate Fulani people. That's why some of them are not there. So it's not a place for Fulani people. Only those of them that have this kiosk shop that are selling chewing gum and hot drink and sweet. Some of them that move truck, selling selling like meat, cow meat and cola. Just all those cash crop product and all that from northern part. That's all. And it's not, they don't sustain their life with that. They love to ride cows in the bush, and you know what they normally do in the bush, which I cannot be saying here. But you understand what I'm saying. The way of life of Fulani people are not, is the development of Lagos State didn't work with it. It's not working with it at all. So they always want to go for a better place that still have thick bush, thick forest. That's where they can operate. That's where they can do some crime and cover it up there. And once any problem, because all of them have, army chief number. If you have it, they will call army chief immediately. Then some of them, they send the copter to rescue them. They are the citizens of the country because the government pay more attention on them than anything. So our people need to do something about it. I don't know why it's so difficult for them. To be honest with you, I don't just know why. Anyway, let's move on.
Anunganga pio aye kukwagena so anunganga pio awapima mayo anunganga pio aye kukwagena so anunganga pio samone ba anunganga pio aye kukwagena so anunganga pio ibugodo kwa kataka anunganga pio aye kukwagena so anunganga pio hey so anunganga hey
So that is a preparation of Simon Ekpa, PM. He's going to Italy. PM is going to Italy on what date? Let me see. What date is that? Okay, they did not put the date here. There's no date here. Okay, tomorrow. No, it's not tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? When is I think the person made a mistake in the date. The date she put here is 6, where this is 5th month. Why 6? Okay. Sorry, yeah, it's right. On 9th should be on, okay, on Sunday, coming Sunday, 9th of this month. PM will be traveling to Italy. He'll be going to Italy to meet Biafrans there. Somebody said this, tell him to come, he said, if you are truly serious, come back to Nigeria, former DSS director, DS Simon Ekpa. Come back to Nigeria, DS Simon Ekpa. Oh my goodness. Sunday, yes. It's Sunday. This coming Sunday. Chineye MC, I see you, my sister. Makif, is it Makif? I don't know how to pronounce your name, media. Hello, Mazekai. I see God continue to uphold you in all ramifications. He say, amen to you, amen to your prayer, and the same thing to you as well. We have many comments here, and sorry if I did not mention your name. It is not intentional. I'm not that your comment is not valuable. It is. Just bear with me because I'm trying to bring the information that we need to bring here. So PM replied the person, DSS director, former DSS director. This DSS is, they are the, if you finish studying law in university, you have to go to law school. Okay. So if you want to be advanced in kidnapping, DSS is the one to hold you for that, because they have proved to everybody that they are specialists. They fly to Kenya to kidnap Martin Monikan, and that's what made them the #1 international criminal kidnapper in the 21st century. So this man, he maybe they have tried their best to kidnap his PM, and he's not coming. The chance is not there, and he can't bear it anymore. He started voicing out. PM tell him to come back to his village. Oh, he's living in Biafra. Tell him to come back to his village in Biafra land and say it, not ranting from Abuja. This one hit differently, to be honest with you. If this man PM don't have to reply to people, you should come back to your village and say it. Okay. So another information is this that I would like to share with us before we call the program off. And he said before we round off the program, we need to touch about this referendum. This is somewhere in R&D Zog. You remember when they were doing propaganda that the PM and the Biafran Liberation Army and R&D Zog committing that? Now this is indigenous R&D Zog people voting for Biafra self-referendum.
In Okigwe State, happening live and direct. In Okigwe State, happening live and direct. In Okigwe State, a Chineke polling unit R&D Zog. In Okigwe State, happening live and direct. As the people can see it, that the voting is currently going on. Live and direct. The voting currently going on. Up Semanaipa. Power to Semanaipa. Power to Semanaipa. Power. Semanaipa, Iwe. Ayegenego. Okemwa. Yes, Onya Bukaneme. The people of Biafra, the people of Iwe are casting their votes. They are casting their votes. Willingly casting their votes. And they are tired of the country called Nigeria. Zoological country. That they are tired of Ohanes and Igbo. As you can see it, here are the people of Okigwe State, the people of Biafra, and are they in a mass to casting their votes. Vote of self-referendum. Vote of freedom.
I enjoyed this one, to be honest with you. I enjoyed this one. And some people are kind of making choice of who is holy and who is not holy. Both of them are holy. both of them are word of praise. They need to praise, to thank them for the effort. It's not
happening live and direct.
Yeah, I don't think that won't matter. So the okay, another news have the same news again. He said SDSS director demand extradition of Simon Ekpa. Then Simon, you know, after saying that he should come back to if he's serious. Now we are now publicly demanding for his kidnapping. And PM also respond to that. He said they know the tire SDSS criminal that does not know what is self-defense. Una go see win for my hand. So una go see win for my hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, and there's something I want to share with us. This doctor I have the video, the man here is trying. This man is trying, and he have said many things, many positive things. Okay, that when you listen to him, you will be proud of him. I think he's from maybe South. I don't know where exactly, but he's a very brave, very brave. He said, Boko Haram. Look at it here. If Boko Haram fighters can be inducted into Nigerian army, why not amnesty being granted to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Dr. Charles Akpoki said. Okay, I don't know if he's Igbo or Middle Belt. I don't know where he come from, but I know that he's from Southeast or South. I don't know. But let's hear what he has to say.
Nature. I am your friend, Dr. Charles Akpoki. I've not been able to comment on the killing of soldiers at Aba because I've been very busy traveling from place to place to do recordings and lectures. I know Obo Hill, Obikavia Junction, Ujigbo Road, and the area that axis very well. I grew up in that area. I'm strongly against the killing of any person.
Yes, any person.
Soldiers
or non-soldiers
killed by civilians, non-state actors in Nigeria is not acceptable.
Okay.
Civilians being killed by military personnel extrajudicially is not acceptable.
Okay.
I detest violence. I detest killing people. It's against nature.
We all do. We all do.
Every separatist movement, liberation movement, agitation that started with military action has always been resolved on the negotiating table. Why don't people want to start with the negotiating table? It's because of pride, hatred, and misinformation. If Boko Haram fighters who are repentant can be inducted into the Nigerian army, why can't amnesty be granted to Nnamdi Kanu? If you grant him amnesty, you will douse the tension and the anger in the East. The federal government, as it is today, should not delude themselves that they can crush any resistance movement. History has not proven them to be able to do that. We've not been able to do that with Boko Haram agitators. We've not been able to do that with bandits, herdsmen, with kidnappers. We've not been able to do that with Yoruba nation agitators. They recently invaded a government house. Why would the government not call these people from these different regions, meet with them, find out their anger and why they are agitating, and then settle with them so that we can live harmoniously together? The third thing I want to say, if you break Nigeria into family units, the same character traits that we have will be in those family units. You are not going to import angels into Duduwa Republic, into Biafra, into Arewa Republic. It's the same exploitative oligarchs and elites that will still come on top and rule over you.
It's a lie.
Wherever you break to.
This man, not because I said that you are making a very nice comment. You are here saying a different thing. I have not played the video before. I don't know that this man we come here to vomit a different thing. Anyway. Okay, let me say something. What he's saying here is actually what many of them have been saying, but it's not true. It's not true in the sense that you only see people. First of all, you need to ask yourself how Nigerian politicians behave and what criteria of in Nigerian politicians. What you must possess before you become a politician in Nigeria. First of all, you need to be heartless. You need to be wicked. You need to require spirit of greedy. You need to delete anything conscience and dignity from your dictionary. You can run any governmental post in Nigeria with any iota of decency, or you don't want to get yourself involved in any dirty business. No, you won't last, and that is just a fact. So this man know this. Although maybe he just focus on his lecturing work and all that. Maybe you don't know much about politics. I believe so, because not that I know, but at least I pay attention to what is going on, and you cannot just tell us that it is 100% true. Don't deceive yourself. Okay, Akolo Wole, you are very, very funny. It is not true. It is not true, because if you don't know Masna Morekano, for example, if that you yourself believe that every Igbo man love money, that's what you people preach. You are from Dudua. Most of you believe that Igbo man love money, right? Do you know what they have promised Masna Morekano and he refused to accept it just to drop Biafra? If he have that mentality and spirit of politicians, okay, if you have that in him, do you think he will be doing what he's doing now? The answer is no. The answer is no. So what are you talking about? You don't just, he said that I'm deceiving myself. I'm not deceiving myself. You are the one, you are deluded. Because if you're not delusional, how can you believe that everybody they behave like politicians? The current Nigerian politicians, is that how everybody behaves? So you are telling me now that you behave like a Tinubu? You and Tinubu have the same similar character. Are you sharing the same character with the Tinubu and Obasanjo and Femi Fani-Kayode? What are you talking about? So if they make you president of, if you become president of Dudua today, what Tinubu is doing now is what we are going to be doing in the Dudua Republic. That means you are an A4 like Tinubu then. What are you trying to tell me? That's a way of deceiving people. Period. You can't hold the public office in Nigeria with a clean hand. That's just a fact. And this guy is here telling me that I'm deceiving myself. How can you say that? They have offered him oil well, offer him vice president. Something that most of politicians in Igbo are committing crime to get. Something that most of them are committing crime. I don't mean looting money, I mean human body. Buying people for them to find that opportunity. They have given it to Mazen Mekano freely. He refused. So mention one Igbo politicians that they will promise vice president that he will not be jumping up and down. But Mazen Mekano refused. He's an Igbo man. So are you trying to tell me that Mazen Mekano have the same character, the same spirit, the same belief, the same faith, the same love that you have with Igbo people or Biafran people? That is what position Igbo governors have to have. That is a lie. That you speak good English does not mean make you sensible. Sometimes you guys are using English to deceive people. And you do what people are known for, education and wisdom, but you are proving otherwise here. How can you believe that if you do what Republic come today, that the same thing that you are happening in Nigeria is going to happen? It's a lie. Pure lie. Okay, that's a pure lie. And please, it shouldn't be something that we'll be debating here. Let me allow the man to continue what he's saying.
President General of a village died recently. He collapsed. About 17 million was seen in his house. Bags of salt were seen there. Bags of beans were already growing in his house. Dried meats were getting rotten. And there were so many poor people in that community that he was supposed to distribute things to. He did not distribute to. He died leaving them behind, rotting. That's how the mindset of the typical Nigerian elite is. Whether they are from Biafra, whether they are from Oduduwa, whether they are from Arewa, whether they are from minorities, the same greedy elites will emerge in every place. Let's think of how we can resolve and improve on the present system instead of going to destroy ourselves.
And he refused to tell you about the agenda of people that control the system today, the Northerners. He's speaking from the side of South-South or Southeast, right? The same, different ideology. Northerners believe that Allah gave them your Lagos. I'm talking to this man that is this Oduduwa guy that is saying different thing here. So as a Oduduwa man, you think that Oyo, the agenda of Fulani is to take Oyo State, to take Lagos State, to control Wharf. You see this bad beast that you guys are bragging about. That is what Fulani wanted to control. It's a matter of time, and you guys are paving ways for that. So the ideology is different. So like what he's saying, and let us see how we can work, how we can bring together. You can't bring together when my belief and my faith is in Biafran, and you believe in Nigerian, and Fulani people believe that they would their own Nigeria. You see, three different options. So how can it work? Just like when you and your family, you want to eat rice and beans, your wife want to cook a soup, your children want to yam porridge. So how can you cook these three things together for us to eat one meal? It's not possible. You can't cook this thing in one pot for us just because you want us to eat from one pot. You want to, but what I want is I want rice and beans, and my wife wants maybe soup. Any soup at all, maybe a goosey soup or bono soup, anything. Then our children will say, okay, I want a yam. So how can you cook these three things together in one pot and call it family food? It doesn't work. You have to cook it differently, because what I want is different for what you want. I don't know how else you want me to explain it for you to understand. And when people bring this idea of no, mention one concept that every citizen have the same one belief and one love and one spirit, and it doesn't work. Everybody have their own character. Every society have a criminal gang. It is normal. It is normal. So, guys, we are going to end it here. And thank you so much for your time. We are going to end it here, and for us to be live again tomorrow morning. Thank you. I appreciate your time, and see you again. Also, say thank you, our awesome brother once again, and Mama. Continue Biafra. Thank you so much. Thank you. I see you. Armstrong, I greet you, and thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your support. If I don't mention your name, please don't be angry. I add my number here, hoping that a free man that I wanted to call in the other program will be here, but he's not here. So tomorrow we shall be live again. Please subscribe and like the video, share it to many groups of your choice. Bye bye for now. Take care. Bye bye.